Google My Business, or what is now called Google Business Profile, is incredibly important for local businesses. So as a local digital marketing provider, you should absolutely be considering offering Google My Business services to your clients. I mean, think about just how important this is. These days, potential customers and even current customers can just do a Google search and obtain a large amount of information about a business without even having to go to the business's website, all just by having these listings. So this is why if you are solely focusing on a local business's website, on SEO, they are going to be missing out on leads. I mean, think about when you turn to Google and you search for a business. You are there to look for their hours, to find directions to the business, to call the business without having to search for the phone number on the website, to read or even write a review, to make an appointment, to ask a question, to view products, or even see the images of products and services. And all of this can be done through the Google Business Profile listing without having to visit the business's website. So this is really a tremendous way for you to be able to add value to a local business while at the same time adding recurring revenue to your own business. So in this video, we're going to cover how to actually go about selling your Google Business Profile listings, what you should actually include in your Google Business Profile service packages, and how much you should charge for this service. So let's talk about how to sell your Google Business Profile services. Now, if you take away absolutely nothing else from this video, remember that in order to really sell Google Business Profile services, you always need to sell the benefits of the service, because really no business owner actually wants to purchase Google Business Profile optimization services. That's boring. But what they do find interesting is increased store visits, increased phone calls, more positive ratings and reviews, appearing ahead of their competition, building a following on Google who are going to get alerted to their offers, being able to post events that they create, making sure that their hours are up to date so they can make sure not to frustrate their customers and get them in the door when they are open. And this is a service that's even going to further enhance their local SEO efforts. It's a way for them to engage with potential and current customers with reviews, question and answers, and other posts, and to be able to sell more of their products and services by featuring them. So if you want to sell Google Business Profile services, you have to speak to the benefits of what this listing can do for that business owner, for their business, and not just the specifics of the actual work. So if you talk about optimizing their profile, making sure that they have the right categories in there, helping them with responding to reviews and individual tasks that we're actually going to be looking at here next, well, that's all great, but it's not enough to compel them. More so, what compels them is making sure that they are going to be getting more leads through this work, that is in turn going to bring in more customers into their business, and that in turn is going to bring in more revenue to their business. And that is naturally going to happen as you follow the steps in the process for optimizing a Google Business Profile. So let's talk about what to actually include in your Google Business Profile packages. The first is the general Google Business Profile audit and optimization. Now, if you're not familiar how to fully optimize a Google Business Profile or how to run a Google Business Profile audit, I do have videos on those as well as step-by-step processes, and you'll be able to find all of those linked below. So even if this isn't something that you have done before, it is actually very beginner friendly, and it is something that you can learn, and you really don't need the extensive experience that you do with something, let's say, like SEO, for example. Now, next up, you can also include reputation management. So this would be managing the reviews, both positive and negative, that are coming in, as well as the questions and answers. So with this, you would be creating a review strategy, making sure that you are the one responding to the reviews, even creating frequently asked questions. And this is very important to make sure that the listing looks like the owner cares, that they are not only acknowledging the positive feedback they are getting from their customers, but also the negative feedback and making sure that it really appears that the business truly cares about the negative experiences customers has, wants to make it right, and is actually aiming to do better. That's going to help those customers that do read those negative reviews feel more comfortable in coming in and still working with that business. Now, you can also create Google posts to really engage with not only current customers, but potential customers as well. And I've even covered here how to actually do this service if you don't have experience, you don't actually want to write posts yourself. So I'll link to that resource below. And that's even just a standalone service that you can offer if you don't want to include it as a full package as well. Now, another service that you can include, which is really important actually these days, is to monitor for and combat spam listings. This has been a very big problem within the local pack. So being able to keep an eye out for those and then also alert Google to those spam listings, have those removed so that way there's more room for your client to move up in the rankings there. Now, you can also set up products to be featured. You can even upload photos and videos of them. Now, I always recommend going in and looking at the Google Business Profile Insights. Look at the actual analytics so that way you'll be able to analyze what is working, what's not, find out what does it make sense to continue doing, where do you actually need to shift gears a bit so that way you are more likely to get the results that you want for this business. And of course, since you want to continue working with this client, it is always good to be able to show them numbers so they can see the improvements, they can see what's happening in their business, so they want to continue working with you, and of course, so that they continue to get even better and better results over time. Now, depending on the type of business that you are working with, you can also help them set up a booking system. So that way, if anyone needs to book an appointment, they can do that from within the listing itself as well. Now, I also recommend that depending on the type of businesses that you work with, that you also look for any industry specific features. So for example, hotels and restaurants have some specific features that other types of businesses do not. So that way you can just make sure that you are taking advantage of everything that Google Business Profile has to offer for that specific local business. Now, one thing that you can also do is track the traffic and the behavior of that traffic that is coming into the local business website directly from the Google Business Profile listing. And this can be really helpful to segment this traffic. That way you can see how do they actually interact with the website. What pages do they go to? How many pages do they go to? What's typically that first page that they're coming in through? What pages do they actually leave the site on? What are they actually doing? What actions are they taking on the website? So that way you can use that information to improve the website specifically for those Google Business Profile viewers. And so that way, for instance, if they are continuously looking at a particular page, you can make sure that it is complete, that it has a call to action, it gives a phone number, it has ways for them to take action from that specific page. If you're finding that they are regularly leaving from a particular page, if that page doesn't make sense, well, then what can we do to provide more information on that page? How can we give them a call to action? How can we make that page more clear so that they are more likely to take the action that we want them to, filling out that quote form, clicking on a button, watching a video, calling the business, scheduling an appointment, so that way you're not losing any of the leads off the back end just because the website isn't set up properly. And lastly, what I would also include is just to make sure, since this is probably something you're going to be doing anyway, since you are offering Google Business Profile services, is to make sure that you are the one staying up to date on any of the latest news, on any of the changes that are coming out with the profile listings. And that way, when there are new features, because new features do come out, that you can make sure that your clients' businesses are one of the first to actually take advantage of those and completing them to help them stand out even more. And sometimes there's even features that are removed. So making sure that you're able to adjust the listing and make any changes that are necessary if that feature was something that was very important to the business. Now, don't forget to download my Google Business Profile sales resources. This includes a list of the benefits to help you better sell to potential clients. It also includes what you can include in your service packages, and it'll also include some tools that you may want to consider using to help you get the job done well. Now, when it comes to pricing, I know everyone wants to know, well, how much do I actually charge for this service? And there's actually two ways that you can set this up. But remember earlier on, I was saying that this is actually a recurring service so that you can add recurring revenue to your business and continue to get results for the clients month after month. So with that being said, the first way that you can set this up is that you can just charge a flat monthly rate, and this is going to be the same rate every single month. But how some other agencies will choose to charge for this is to actually charge a different fee just for that first month, and that fee is typically a higher charge. And this is because during the first month, this is where you are going to be going in and fully optimizing their profile, and you'll be running an audit to see what you actually need to fix within their profile, making all of those changes. So typically, just like with SEO, there may be some more additional work that needs to happen up front, and then you'll have more of the maintenance tasks on an ongoing basis during the future months. So you may want to charge that higher rate just for that first month to reflect the additional work of that first month, and then you can just resort to that little bit lower, steady monthly rate that you will continue on for future months as long as the client stays a client. So anywhere in the $300 to $600 a month range works really well. And also keep in mind that there are many local businesses that actually have multiple locations. So in this instance, you can also charge an additional rate for each additional location that they would like you to manage. So this is a really good way to be able to add in more recurring revenue to your business, to be able to add great value to your local business clients as well. I really hope that you got a lot out of this. I hope this helped answer some of the questions and gave you some more insight into being able to sell Google Business Profile services to clients. If there's anything else that you'd like to know, if there's any questions that I can answer for you, don't hesitate to pop them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you know of anyone who can find this information helpful, please do consider sharing this as well. Thank you so much for being here, for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next video.